So everyone, open your QuickBooks file. Open your QuickBooks file. Please mute your microphone when you're not supposed to say anything. Ensure that you mute your microphone. Takaramoi. Okay, so where did we stop last time? So in the introductory class, what did we cover? Somebody to remind us very fast. Just unmute and proceed.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, we covered creating company profile, doing the customers and suppliers.
Great, thank you. So in the last class, we did the software installation. We looked at the creation of a company profile, how to key in your customer information into your system, and how to enter supplier information into your system. So that reminds me that there is an assignment that I left you to key in the remaining customers and suppliers. I don't want to get much into that, but I hope it's done. Now, today, we want to look at how to enter products, how to change product quantity, and how to enter fixed assets. There are some files that I've shared with you in your WhatsApp group. I think should be Dead End Merchants and Private Health Clinic, and I hope that you've downloaded those files because we want to use them in today's class. Now, the first thing that you want to look into is how to enter products into QuickBooks. Now, products are categorized into two. Products within an organization is categorized into two. And in fact, we can say that there are three categories of products. The first category is the stock items. That is the first category of products. The second one is non-stock items. And finally, we have the services part. In other words, we can talk about inventory part, non-inventory part, and the services. So what is the difference between the three? We are all classifying these under products within the organization, but when we get into that broader category of the inventory part, non-inventory part, and the service part, what do you mean by the three? The first one is the inventory part. So what do you mean by inventory part of products? So the inventory part simply refers to the raw materials used in production and goods produced that are available for sale. That is what we mean by inventory. Or if you like, you will call it stock. The raw materials used in production and goods produced that are available for sale. So remember, we are not only talking about complete goods, but even the raw materials that are being used in this production process, we categorize them under stock item. So long as these goods have been purchased or have been made for resale, then they fall under the category of the inventory part or the stock part. Otherwise, if these goods have been purchased or have been made for office use, then we categorize them into the non-inventory or the non-stock items. And then the third category is the services. So what are the services? Services, you know, are intangible, the intangible commodities or the intangible service. I don't want to repeat the term service. I'm looking for the most appropriate term to use there. But the intangible aspect of business of the company. That is what constitutes the service part. Now, I talked about inventory, and I talked about inventory referring to the raw materials used in production and goods produced that are available for sale. Now, we take a deep dive into the raw materials part. The raw materials part can be broad. It may not be just taken as it is, but we can also take a deep dive into the raw materials. We all know that raw materials are products that are used to aid in the manufacturing or the production process. But the raw materials are categorized into two major groups. The first one is the work in progress. I'm not talking about raw materials, but I'm talking about inventory. So inventory is categorized into two major groups. The first one, we have work in progress, we have finished goods, and raw materials itself also forms part of inventory. So raw materials, we've said, are unprocessed materials that are being used in the production process. They include things like crude oil that are being used by refineries. Maybe if you go to the bakery industry, you can talk about flour. I don't know if it's flour or flour, whatever it is. Those are raw materials. The work in progress. Work in progress is partially finished project or partially finished goods. And then finally, we have the finished goods. The finished goods are products that are ready for resale or ready for sale. Now, how do you determine or how do you get the value of your stock or the value of your inventory before we get into how to record inventory into the system? There are methods of valuation, methods of stock valuation that different organizations use. And depending on your accounting system, you are required to maintain a constant method of stock valuation while doing your while valuing your stock or your inventory. So you should have some consistency in your method used in stock valuation. There are three major methods of stock valuation that are being used by different organizations. The first one is what we call the first in, first out valuation method, or in other words, FIFO, in short. We have the second method, known as last in, first out method, shortened into LIFO. And then finally, we have the weighted average method. I will not talk about those, but I will give you an assignment to go and look more or study more about methods of stock valuation. But then now we are talking about stock valuation or inventory valuation. So this falls under inventory management. So why is it very much important for organizations to perform inventory management? The first one is because inventory management allows businesses to minimize inventory costs as they create or receive goods as needed by the business. Or you can say on as needed basis. As needed basis simply means you only purchase goods when there is need. There is no need to stock your to stock goods when there is no one to purchase them. So you are only supposed or you only purchase the goods for resale when there is need. So that also means that you need to check at the trend in which your stock sells. All right, back to QuickBooks. So we are talking about entering products. So how do you key in products into your QuickBooks system? Now, to key in products, to enter new products, you go to items, not items, sorry. You go to lists. From your tabs, you will see a tab called lists. You will see a tab called lists. Go and click on lists. From the top, you have file, edit, view, lists, favorites, accountant, and all that. So I'm talking about lists. Click on lists, and then go to item list. Maximize that window. Okay. So this is now the item list. So it is now from here that you can see a record of the products that you have in your organization or that you have in store. So to add a new item or to add a new product, you simply right-click your mouse, and choose on new. So when you choose on new, this window pops up. The window requires you to key in the following about your product. Number one is the type of product. Number two is the item name, the sub-item of. You have the description, the rate, the account, and all that. But look, in the file that I shared with you, that is dead-end merchants. Open your file, dead-end merchants. So in the dead-end merchants file, we are told the following. Dead-end merchants is a retail company that deals in the following commodities. You are given the product, the cost, or rather the buying price of that product, the selling price of that product, the supplier who provides dead-end merchants with that product. We have the product quantity that is available in store. You are further told that the company has 4 credit buyers. The first one, the Florida Casino, Choices Club, Hard Rock Restaurant, New Visions Nightclub. And then you are further guided that others buy directly in cash. So that means that there should be no credit sales to any other customer apart from the 4, the Florida Casino, Choices Club, Hard Rock Restaurant, and New Visions Nightclub. I don't want to dwell much into the other information given. We'll look at that later. For now, I want us to look at the first part. So I want you to, first of all, create a new company profile. Create a new company profile for dead-end merchants. That is the first step. You remember how we said in the last class how you create a new company profile? You go to File. You go to File. New company. Express Start. And then key in the information required. The company name is Dead-End Merchants. We have the industry. Which industry is Dead-End Merchants operating? it is recommendable that if you're not sure on the industry, you choose on general. So just put in general. Just scroll down. General product base. Okay. Click OK. Then we have the company type. We are told it is a retail company. So it's a company. Just click on that drop down. Okay. Okay. The VAT scheme and the VAT registration number, we are not given that. So click next. Not next, but continue. No any other contact information given. So just click on create company. Then give it some 30 seconds to finish creating your company profile. Start working. So just close those windows. So anytime you get any notification which requires you to connect to the internet, please always close those windows. Otherwise, you'll mess up with your software and you'll not be able to use it. So from the top, your title bar that we talked about should be able to see dead end merchants. You should be able to see dead end merchants. So that means that you are currently operating on the file dead end merchants. Now, the next thing to do is now to key in the company information, which is the company information that we have. We have the products, we have the suppliers, and we have the customers. But in this case, I want us to enter the products and the suppliers together. So we are going to use the process or the procedure of entering products into the system. And at some point, we will see how to key in the name of the specific supplier. All right. So I said to key in the names or to key in the products, you go to lists. Go to lists, item list. Maximize that window. Right click. And then say new. Okay. Now look under type. Under type, that is where you choose the type of product. It can be a service, it can be a non-stock part, or it can be a stock part. That is the main category that we use: the service, the stock part, or the non-stock item. But if you look into your list, you don't have stock part, yet what we want to record are stock items. So what do you do in that case? It means that your stock item category is not active in the system. So what you do, you're supposed to edit the system settings first to activate the stock item part. How do you do that? To make any changes in the system, you go to edit, preferences, and then what are we interested in? We are interested in the category of items and stock. So you choose the category that you want to do editing for. In this case, items and stock. So click on items and stock. From the right pane, there are two options: my preferences and company preferences. So click on company preferences. And then you will see stock and purchase orders are active. But the checkbox is not active. That means that it has not been activated. So to activate it, mark that checkbox. So you are told you may not change these preferences while adding or editing an item. All right, no problem. Just say okay. And then close that window first. So remember, we were already in this window where we wanted to key in a new product, but we are told that we cannot make editing to that stock category while we are on the window that is already adding or editing an item. So what do? Close this window, not the whole one, but the small one. From the top, you have you can see that you have two windows. So close the small one, the white one. I'm not sure if you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, fine. So just leave it at that point. There's no problem. So confirm that you are here. This is where you should be. So after that, go back to edit. Go back to edit. Preferences. Okay, still under items and stock, company preferences. And then now mark that checkbox. Right, so click OK. So it tells you QuickBooks must close all its open windows to change this preference. No problem, click OK. Okay, so we can now proceed to enter our items now. So go back to lists. Go back to lists. Item list. Right click. And then new. All right, great. So we have the stock part is now active. We have the stock part is now active. So our products that you want to key in is a stock part. So choose on stock part under type. If it was a service, you could choose on service. If it was non-stock part, you choose on non-stock part. I already explained that the non-stock part are products that the company purchases for office use. They include things like rim papers, pens. Those are majorly purchased for office use and not for resale. So we categorize them under non-stock part. Okay. The next is the item name or number. Item name or number. So there you key in the name of your product. And the first product is Borzoi vodka. The first product is Borzoi vodka. We have the second part, sub-item of. What do you mean by sub-item of? So I will give an example. If you go to the supermarket, if you look at the shelves are subdivided into various subgroups. You may get a group for foodstuffs. You get a group for electronics. You get a group for what? You get a group for detergents and any other group that you may get. But now, when you go to electronics, you have so many things under electronics. You have laptops, you have woofers, you have TVs, and any other item that you may have under electronics. So when you come into the system, you key in, let's say, for instance, you want to key in fridge as an item. So the item name is fridge. Sub-item of is electronics. I hope that makes sense. That is what we mean by the sub-item of. You go to foodstuffs. Under foodstuffs, you get that you have unga, you have sugar, you have tea leaves, and any other foodstuffs that you have. You record sugar into your system. Sugar is your product name, but it falls under the category of foodstuffs. So the sub-item of will be foodstuffs. In this case, leave it as it is, because we do not have any specific one. The manufacturer's part number. Manufacturer's part number. I will give an example with unga or the maize flour. We have so many brands of maize flour. Valiland, Jogo, Jembe, Kavagara, 210, or any other brand of maize flour that you know. All these brands are produced by different manufacturers. So under the manufacturer's part number, you only key in the details of that particular manufacturer for that product. So if you key in unga, yes, it is unga, but from where? From Valiland. In this case, we do not have any, so leave it as it is. Next is the unit of measure. The unit of measure, which are the units of measure? It can be in kgs, it can be in liters, it can be in tons, it can be in meters, or whatever unit of measure that you have. That is what we mean by the unit of measure. In this case, we do not have. Leave it as it is. Purchase information and the sales information. Description on purchase transactions and description on sales transactions. So there, you key in the description based on your own system within the organization. So description on purchase transactions simply means at the point at which you purchase this item. If maybe you purchase these items maybe on bulk, you will record that, or any other purchase description that you may have. There's no specific information about the purchase description information. You key in that based on your own system within your organization, and the same applies to sales information. The cost. The cost is the buying price of this particular item. In this case, Borzoi vodka, the cost is 300 shillings. So you key in 300. Be careful not to key in 3,000 or any other match value because of how the system is. By default, your system will have 0.00. So be careful not to key in more items or a much higher price. The sales price, just as it is the selling price. For Borzoi vodka, it is 450. We have the preferred supplier. So the preferred supplier is basically who provides you with this particular item. If you have a supplier who normally give you this product on a regular basis, then you key in that in your system. So if you click on that drop down, you should be able to see lists of your suppliers. But wait, did you key in any supplier in your system? No, you haven't keyed in. Remember, we are in a different file, dead end merchants. We are not in the other file. That is why you cannot see any supply information there. But if you had keyed in the supply information, then you would see the names of your suppliers here. Now, what do you do in that instance where you don't have your preferred supplier, you don't have the supply information here? You simply add new. When you click on add new, the window for keying in the supply information pops up. So key in your supply information. We looked at that last time. So just key in the supplier name, Bovi Int, and replicate the same under company name, Bovi Int. Copy to. Just click OK. We don't have any further information. We are only going to key in the supplier name. That is the only information that we have. And then you click OK. All right. So when you do that, that supplier has automatically been added into your supplier system. So you will not have to key it in again. We have the income account. We have the income account. Now we have so many income accounts that you can have. This applies when you are now preparing your statement of, not statement of financial position, but the income statement. In other words, called the trading profit and loss account. So where would you categorize the benefits that will be accrued from this particular item? Under what category do you place it? Is it a sales? Is it a cost of goods sold? Or what is it? If you click on that drop down, you will see a list of income accounts that you can use. You have sales, cost of goods sold, accounts payable, members equity, or whatever account that it is. So here, who would try? How would you categorize this? Under what income account would you categorize this particular product, Borzoi vodka? Who can give a try? Under what income account? Hey. Are people here? Thank you, Jorge sales. Jacob sales. Okay. Great. So we are going to categorize it under the sales. Why? These products have been bought for resale. So the income that comes out of them falls directly under the income account of sales. So click on sales. You have got the stock information down there. Asset account, it is a stock item. The first option, we have the reorder point. What is the reorder point? I think I explained this in the last class. I'm not sure if we did that, but let me just pardon. Reorder point is basically the minimum stock level that you can have in your store. That is what we call the reorder point. The minimum stock level that you can have in your store. There are several factors that determine the reorder level or the reorder point. Which factors can determine the minimum stock level that you can have in your store at any given point? The first one is the frequency of purchase of a product. So you can look at the trends at which your customers purchase this product. You can do this on a daily basis. You can do it on a monthly basis. You can do it on a weekly basis, or on the frequency that you will choose on. If on a daily basis, you can sell up to 100 units of a single product, then that means that your stock for that specific product should never go below 150. So in that case, you will set your reorder level or your reorder point at 150. I hope that makes sense. So you can set the minimum reorder point and the maximum reorder point. In this case, we are not given, so we'll leave it as it is. On hand. On hand simply means the available quantity or the available units of that specific product that you have in your store. Here, it is 100. So on hand, 100. The total value is basically the quantity that you have multiplied by the buying price. Once you've keyed in the buying price and the quantity on hand, your system will automatically calculate for you the total value of your product. So you need not to fill that because it will be automatically calculated for you. As of is basically the date on which you are doing the entry. Click OK. All right. So if you check into your product list, you will see that product listed. The name is Borzoi Vodka. The type, it is a stock part. Sales, their account. The total that you have on hand is 100. The price is 450 per unit. Okay, proceed to key in the next product. Let's key in the second one. That is Smirnoff Vodka. So to key in the next product, you don't need to go back to lists because you're already at the item list. So what you do, you just right click. It is only when you are not on this window that you go back to the list to key in another product. So right click and then you say new. It's a stock part. Item name, Smirnoff Vodka. Smirnoff Vodka. You know, today is a Friday. I hope there's nobody in this class who hears Smirnoff Vodka and their attention shifts. Concentrate, concentrate. Sianze kutoka hapo mbio. Okay. Sub item of, we don't have any. Manufacturer's part number, I already explained about this. So I'm not going to talk about them. So key in the cost. The cost is 250. The sale price is 350. The income account, sales, and then preferred supplier. So we don't have the preferred supplier here, so you add new. The preferred supplier is Qual-K Limited. Qual-K Limited. On hand is 200. You click OK. Tells you about the spelling, just ignore all. Okay, so proceed to key in the details of the remaining products. That is the process that you use to key in the product. So key in the next products, key in the next products. We have around 10 of them. So how long? 5 minutes is enough for you to do that work. I know. If there's someone who is saved here, I'm sorry for the file that I sent to you. But assume this is business, eh? Just key in the names. I know you may be saying Smirnoff Vodka. Then you wonder, what am I doing? Hujapotea njia, bado uko tu sawa. You're just doing business, eh? So just key in the names of the products. Don't worry about their names. So 5 minutes for that, and then we proceed. You should be done. One more minute. Yes, time is up. You should be done. Was not finished entering the products? Was not finished? Oh, great. So we proceed. So that is now how you enter products. That is how you enter products into your system. But just like I said at first, is that you are human and you may be prone to error. So suppose now that you've keyed in the wrong product quantity on hand. Suppose you've keyed in the wrong product quantity on hand. So how do you change the inventory of the product quantity? To change the quantity, you go to vendors. To change the quantity, you go to vendors. Somebody is looking for vendors and they are not seeing. A vendor is a supplier. So go to suppliers. From your tabs, go to suppliers. So when you get to suppliers, oh, you already clicked. You already clicked supplier center. No, don't click on that. Just click on suppliers alone. Just click on suppliers from the tabs. Tony, please don't use the shortcuts. I'm talking about the tabs. Suppliers, file, edit, view, lists, favorites, accountant, company, customers, suppliers. That is what I want you to click. Great. And then go to inventory activities or the stock activities. From stock activities, you have so many stock activities that you can do. The first one, you can go to the stock center. Number 2, you can add a new item. Number 3, you can adjust quantity or the value on hand. You can adjust the physical stock worksheet, and you can do building assemblies. So in this case, we are talking about changing the product or the stock quantity. So where do you go? You go to adjust quantity, stock value on hand. So click on adjust quantity, stock value on hand. And then from here now, you choose on the adjustment account. You choose on the adjustment account. The first option is the adjustment type. And the adjustment type is the quantity. You want to adjust the quantity of that particular item. The second part is the adjustment date. So you key in the relevant date in which you are doing the adjustment. Then you have the adjustment account, the adjustment that you are making. In which account or which account is it going to affect? So you click on that drop down to choose on the adjustment account. In this case, we'll still maintain sales. But if it is not sales, let's say maybe you want to make some adjustments, some quantity that is going to affect your advertisements account. So you choose on the relevant account that this adjustment is going to affect. So choose on the relevant account there. Choose on the relevant account there. Okay. And then now, to select the item that you want to do the adjustment to select the item that you want to do the adjustment to, on that table that you have, under item, just click on that blank space there. Just click on that blank space under item. When you click on that, a drop down will be introduced. So click on that drop down. When you click on that drop down, you can be able to see a list of your products that you've keyed in. So you select which product do you want to make an adjustment to. Let's say, for instance, we want to make an adjustment to Borzoi vodka. Let's say we want to make an adjustment to Borzoi vodka. So click on Borzoi vodka. When you click on that, all the relevant information that you keyed in regarding Borzoi vodka will be brought in. So your quantity on hand currently is 100. But now you want to make an adjustment to this. Say maybe, for example, you did a mistake in this and you want to make an adjustment. What do? The quantity on hand will not be able to adjust from that point directly. So you go and say new quantity. So let's say, for instance, you want to adjust it to 150. So under new quantity, type 150. Okay. After that, if you want to proceed with the adjustments, you will click save and new. But if you are done, you will say save and close. In this case, we are done. So click on save and close. So you've already made an adjustment to your stock. And when you get back to the item list, you will find that the quantity of that particular product has been adjusted from 100 to 150. How do you view that? You go to lists. You go to lists. Item list. So check out Borzoi vodka. Check out Borzoi vodka. What is the quantity? 150. But it was initially 100. The same will affect the price. Your price will also change. So that is how you adjust the quantity. But on the other hand, we've only talked about adjusting the quantity. What about adjusting the price? Maybe the price for that particular product has increased, or you keyed in the wrong price of that particular product. So how do you change the price? To change the price, go to customers. Now, maybe something that I can talk about before you go to customers. You look at how we are keying in this particular information and the tabs that we are going to click on. Remember, when we were going to change the product quantity, we went to vendors or we went to suppliers. We now want to change the price. We are now going to the customers. Why this? The quantity is majorly associated with the supplier. The price is majorly associated with the customer. So each and every aspect that you want to do, so long as you know the associated party or the person is going to be affected or the particular account that is going to be affected, then your work will be made easier while using Intuit QuickBooks. So now we want to change the price. Where do we go? We go to customers. Go to customers. Just click on customers and then change item prices. Change, no, not customer center. Customers, and then change item prices. So when you go there, the first option that will come in is the item type. Which item do you want to change their price for? Is it under service? Is it under stock? Or it is an unstock item? What you want to change is a stock item. So click on stock part. After clicking on stock part, all your items pops up with their price. So let's say, for instance, we want to change the price for Cognac brandy. Let's say, for instance, we want to change the price for Cognac brandy. So what do? Beside Cognac brandy, there's a box there. Check on that box. Beside Cognac brandy, check on that box there. Beside it, to the left. Good. Click on that. All right. And then after that, you have the description, and then you have the current price. The current price for Cognac brandy is 3,570. So what is the new price that you want to use? Let's say maybe you want to use 3,600. So under new price, type 3,600. Great. After that, you click OK. Oh, sorry. So when you're adjusting the prices, just cancel what you have. So when adjusting the prices, once you keyed in the information that you need, then just below that table, there's a box written adjust. There's a box there written adjust. So click on that box adjust. Click on that option for adjust. To the bottom right. To the bottom right. Okay. After you've clicked it, then click OK. Okay. So that is how you adjust the price. So we've looked at entering products, changing the product quantity, and changing the product price. What next are we supposed to look at today? We're supposed to look at how to enter fixed assets. What we've looked at is what is categorized under current assets. But you have another category of goods within the organization called fixed assets. And fixed assets are majorly the assets that you have within the organization that last for a period of, what is the period measure for fixed assets? More than 1 year, eh? They last for more than 1 year. Yes, Jen, please. I can see your hand is raised.
Hi.
Hi.
For the brandy wine, when we changed the price to 3,600 and did the adjustment, from my end, the price didn't change. I still have the 3,570.
Sure.
Yeah, I still have 3,570.
Okay. Maybe you can you can redo the process. Just redo the process to see. The others, yours changed. Must have changed to 3,600. Confirm that. People are silent, so I'm not sure if it changed or not. So Jen, go to customers.
Yeah, I'm already there.
Okay.
I've already clicked on the brandy. So
Okay.
once I put the new price at 3,600,
Mhm.
do I say adjust or I say okay first?
Adjust.
Adjust. So when I click on adjust,
Mhm.
my new price is still 3,570.
Oh, okay. From the bottom from the bottom left,
Bottom left.
you can see there's there are some options there. Adjust price, adjust price of marked items by amount or a particular percentage or based on the current price. You're able to see that? All right. So alternatively, you can use a percentage. Alternatively, you can use a percentage. Let's say, for instance, we want to adjust the price of that cognac brandy maybe by 10%. So by amount or a percentage, and in that box with 0.00, you will type the percentage that you want to use. Say, for instance, 10. Okay. And then you do the adjustment based on what? Click on that drop down. Based on. So do you want to do this adjustment based on the current price or based on the unit price? Based on the current price means that you will do the adjustment to the total cost of that particular item multiplied by the quantity. I believe you understand that. The unit price times the quantity, giving you the total cost. But if you do the adjustment based on the unit cost, then it means that you will change everything. You will change the price per unit of that particular product. So let's do it based on the current price. And then after that, now click on adjust. And then you click OK. So has it now changed? Thank you. So we proceed. Thank you, Jen, for raising that. Thank you for that. So now we want to look at how to enter fixed assets. Now, maybe before I proceed, it is the same procedure that you also use to enter services into your system. The only difference is under type, you will choose on services. The same procedure, you will use it to enter non-stock item part of goods into your system. That is the goods that are bought for resale into the business. The difference is under the type, you will choose non-stock or the non-inventory. All right. Now, assets. How do we key in assets, or how do we key in fixed assets? Do we have any assets here? We don't have any assets. Let me look at the private health clinic. Oh, you don't have any assets. I didn't share a file with the assets. Okay. Let me just check and share right away. Assets. Assets. Oh, yeah. I've got one here. So let me share it to you. Let me share the file to you. Or have I shared with you any file called Seaways? Let me just share Seaways file. Seaways. Okay. So in the meantime, you can be creating a new company profile called Seaways. Just key in the company name is Seaways. Just key in the company name is Seaways. And then choose on the general industry. It is a company. Just create that new company profile as the file comes. I've already shared it with you. Check your WhatsApp group. Check your WhatsApp group. You should see the file called Seaways. Yeah, industry. Choose on the industry. Just say a general product based. Company. Continue. Create company. So I told you not to worry about the information that you key in into your system, whether it is saved or not. All the information that you key in is saved. The moment you click OK, or you click save, or you click save and close, or you click save and new, that information is automatically saved, unless you quit the process when you are still in the process of keying in the information. Otherwise, everything is okay. Don't worry. Okay, so you should currently be in a file called Seaways. Your current operating file should be Seaways. Okay, so the information, the file that I've shared to you reads the following. Seaways is a company that deals with sales and supply of computers and computer accessories, networking, maintenance, and repair of computers, printers, and other hardware. The company also performs installation of computer software. During the year starting January 2019, the company had the following balances. The first one is the assets. We had kitchen equipment, 500,000. Buildings, 3,500,000. Motor vehicle, 1,698,150. Computers, 85,600. Furniture, 245,650. The company had the following balances in their bank accounts. Barclays Bank, 6 million. Equity Bank, 900,000. Further information tells you that the company offers the following services. Servicing of computers at 3,000 shillings per PC. Computer repair at 2,000 shillings per PC. Printers repair at 4,000 shillings per PC. The company sells the following items. Computer, bought at 10,000 shillings, sold at 20,000 shillings. External HDD, bought at 2,000, sold at 3,000. Flash disk, monitor, HP printer, and DVD-ROM. The following transactions took place. 3rd January 2019, the following customer brought their computers for repair. P. Nyamu, Ali Muhindi, James Kanyari, Steven Tarus, Susan Jau. Then on 4th January 2019, Mulo wanted his company's computer serviced and wanted to buy a UPS worth 10,000. His computers were 20 in total. On 6th of January 2019, the company incurred the following expenses: electricity, internet, water bill, postage. 12th January 2019, the company placed an order for the following items from Tanuri: 3 computers for 30,000 shillings from Microsystems Limited, 2 HP printers for 20,000 shillings from Computer Garage. And on 18th January 2019, the company received all the items ordered and paid for them through check. Required, make all deposits to Barclays Bank, transfer 20,000 shillings from Barclays to Equity, prepare the trial balance, and prepare the balance sheet. Great. All the information that is available in this file, we will use it. But for now, I want us to focus on the assets part. The other information, we'll look at it later on. So the assets, we now have these as our assets within the organization. So how do we key in our assets into our system? You will recall that where you are keying in your stock, you had no option for keying in your fixed assets. Stock is not a fixed asset. What you are keying in was only a current asset. So how do we key in fixed assets? You go to lists. From lists, select fixed asset item list. Maximize that window. So from here, follow the same procedure. Right click, then you say new. Robert, you have something? After you say new, then this window will pop up where you now key in the fixed asset information or the details. The first information that you're supposed to key in is the asset name or number. So our asset name is kitchen equipment. Kitchen equipment. We have the asset account. Which account is this asset going to affect? Is it going to affect the furniture and fittings? Is it going to affect land? Is it going to affect the computer equipment, motor vehicle, and all that? So you choose. This is furniture. Sorry, this is kitchen equipment. Which account is it going to affect? Scroll through to see the relevant account that is going to be affected. And then you choose the most appropriate. I will not tell you that. Liz says furnitures and fixtures. Not really. Kitchen equipment, no. You should be having an account for equipment. I believe you have such equipment. Just check thoroughly if you have an account for equipment. Not rental. Maybe you can use the office equipment part that is there, but that is not the most appropriate. But just use it for now. Office equipment. Yeah, thank you, Sarah. The next is the purchase information. Under purchase information, you're supposed to key in the description. So this kitchen equipment, purchase information, how did you purchase it? Maybe you can say purchase of second-hand kitchen equipment. So anything that will fit your description, you place it there. Sales information, sales description, sale of worn out or disposal of worn out kitchen equipment. Anything that will fit your sales description. Then you are able to select from there whether your item is new or your item is used. Next, you have the date. So the date, you realize that the date is under the purchase information. So to the left, you key in the date on which you purchased. that item. And then you key in the cost at which you purchased that item. To the right, we have sales information. So you have the sales description, you key in there, and then under the sales date. But remember, these are fixed assets that you are keying in. So why do we have the sales information yet fixed assets are not for resale? All fixed assets undergo depreciation except land. When they go under when they undergo depreciation, a time may reach when you want to dispose this particular asset, or based on your financial needs, based on your company needs, you may want to dispose some fixed assets that you have. So when you dispose them, you will key the sales date and the sales price that you will use to dispose that particular asset under those or under that category, and any other sales expense that you may incur while disposing that asset. You have got the asset information, the asset description. Briefly give a description of your asset, the kitchen equipment. What about the kitchen equipment? Metallic kitchen equipment. Sorry. Black metallic kitchen equipment. That is a sample asset description, but you will give the most description that suits you. The location. Where is this asset located within your organization? Is it located at the reception? Is it located on your first floor? Is it on the second floor? If, for instance, sometime, I can give an example. You have a motor vehicle which belongs to the company, but the motor vehicle is not stored in the company premises. The director uses the motor vehicle for their use, but the motor vehicle belongs to the company. So where's the location? The director's premises. So you specify where that particular item is located. The purchase order number, what is abbreviated as the PO number? That is when you purchase that particular product. You have the serial number. Each and every product, when you purchase each and every item, they do have a unique serial number. So you key in the serial number there. Warranty expires. All fixed assets must have a warranty. I doubt if there is a fixed asset without a warranty. So you key in the date in which the warranty of your fixed asset will expire. Then you have the notes. Notes is simply any other additional information that you may have regarding this particular asset. All right? So I've explained on everything. Key in the relevant information. The information that you remain with is the cost. Cost is 500,000. Cost is 500,000. So that click OK. So you are told a fixed asset must have a purchase description. Okay, so key in your purchase description. I will not tell you that. I've already explained about the purchase description. So key in any purchase description that you can have. Just click OK, and then you key in the purchase description. Tony, your hand is stuck on the keyboard. Ongea na Jen vizuri ya kuambia descriptions za kitchen equipments. I know you want to say you don't know about kitchen equipments. Talk to Jen well to tell you the description of kitchen equipments, so that mkono iwache kukwama kwa keyboard. Just type anything there and then you post that transaction. It will just go. Jen tells you it's purchase of second-hand equipment. So key in that. was a Friday. I was supposed to submit something. Okay, so after keying in that information, proceed to record. The other fixed asset that you have is buildings. So you right click and then you say new. Next is building, buildings, buildings. Give the purchase description. So you can say, purchase of a 2-story building. What do you mean by 2-story building? Just in that. Okay, the date. You key in the date on which you purchase that item. The cost is 3,500,000. Yeah, specify the account. You didn't input the account. Building falls under the category of you should have an account for buildings. Just check through. Or land and buildings, whichever that you will have. Oh, you don't have buildings, eh? Okay. Let's use that for now. Just proceed. Maybe before you proceed, let me show you something on this. Okay. Maybe just record the next asset so that I show you something. The next asset is a motor vehicle. So you can say VIDs if I don't know who uses VIDs here. Esther Okoth, no. Esther Okoth must be using a machine. Let me see who uses a VIDs here. Yeah, Liz Gishuki. I guess you must be using a VIDs or Winfred Mwangi. I know for your case you can use a VIDs, but Esther Okoth will choose a machine. You'll find Esther Okoth with a Harrier or with which machines do you have? Whichever machine that Esther will be controlling. She doesn't care about her financial status. She cares about what she cares about what she has on the road. Kupita na kupigia horn pop. So kuna vitu naambiwa toka kwa njia. Okay, so here I want you to choose now, and the item is using math. So Liz. Okay, so another item is, we have two options. Item is new and item is used. So in this case, I want you to choose that the item is used. Choose item is used. Okay. So when the item is used, then click on the sales date. Click on the sales date. It is not active. Oh, no. The sales date applies where you sold the item. So just check on item is sold. Check on that box. Okay. Sales date. The sales price. Just in anything, don't worry. Any sales expense that might have been incurred. Okay, so here, click on next. Click on next. Ignore all. Where did it take you? The item has been saved. I didn't want the item to be saved. Okay, just record the next item. Let me check on that. Record the next item. The next item is computers. Let me open my file. No, don't sell it. Don't sell the computer. Just record for computers and furniture. Record for computers and furniture. Just realize time is far much gone. Maybe I will show you this in the next class. I wanted to show you where you record the depreciation and the depreciation rate for that asset. So just record what you have for now, and then I will show you that in the next class, how to record depreciation. And then where you choose the depreciation rate for your asset. If your asset undergoes depreciation, at what rate do you key into your system? The depreciation method, we have so many methods of depreciation. Is it straight line depreciation method? Is it the reducing balance depreciation method? How do you do that? Okay, so just you can just finish up on keying in the fixed asset information that you have, and with that we'll call it lesson. We've covered what you are supposed to cover today. So in the next lesson, we will look at creating invoices, receiving payment, creating sales receipts, and creating purchase orders. That is what we'll look in the next class. I saw some message here. So will you extend the training period, or the next class will be the last one? Oh, I think I explained this in the group. I saw some confusion in the group when you people saw the timetable. So you thought whatever is in the timetable is the final. No, the timetable only tells you the days that you're supposed to have the class. It doesn't have the number of sessions that this course is supposed to take. What has the number of sessions is the course outline that I shared with you. That is what has the number of sessions. Maybe I can just reshare with you. Have 6 sessions. This is our second session. I said the first one was like an orientation, so I don't count it as a session. So don't worry about the time. Don't worry about the time. Everything is catered for. Everything is catered for. We are supposed to have 6 sessions, so we have 2 more sessions to go. Let me just share you the course outline. Sage course outline. Or is it? If my desktop is very full. Okay, so let me know if there is any question. I want us to end there as I share you the file. Sage cost outline. Okay, so no. Okay, fine. So what I've shared is a Sage cost outline, but the same applies to QuickBooks. So don't worry about the title. The same content that we cover in QuickBooks, we cover the same in Sage. The difference is the softwares that we use. But what is supposed to be covered is just the same. I just reshared it in your group, so you can check it. Is there any question? Okay, so we can stop at that point. You have a good night, and we meet on when is our next class? Yeah, you go and check the timetable from the group icon, and then we meet in our next class. Thank you. Have a good night and have a good weekend ahead.